Welcome back to Sarita's garden. So we harvested another cassava plant today, and here are the roots. There's just a few on the smaller side, and then here's the hole that we dug the plant out of. And we're going to use this hole to bury some of the cuttings, which I'll do next, to save. This is November, end of November. We're going to save the cuttings until planting next March. So this is the pit where we're going to bury them and see if that works. We'll also try keeping some in the shed, and then we'll also try putting some into pots. Okay, here's the cutting material from last video where that we took out the plant right beside it. So this is the whole stem from last time. So I took all the leaves off, and this is where the roots were attached in the ground. Okay, so we have a Sharpie marker, and we're going to make cuts of pieces to save. Ideally, you want the nodes to be on the closer side together. These are like really close, so we're definitely going to store some of those thicker pieces, and then I think some of the skinnier pieces, because one of the trouble with storing it is that they dry out. So I think what we'll do with these like antler pieces on the top is some of these will be the ones that I'll put into pots. So these two pieces look like they could be, I don't know if it's best to have this be one or two. So I'm going to take them off, and I'm going to keep them in the direction that they should be planted. So if we look at the nodes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It seems pretty decent for two sticks. So I'm going to cut that in half. Okay, I am trying to be careful to keep the upright variety. Now this variety is called Shan's Yellow. So I'm going to put the arrow up, and then I'm going to put S, Y. Okay, so those are the pieces. Now technically these small pieces are the ones that I just mentioned I'm going to plant in pots, because we haven't had a lot of experience saving the cuttings. So we're going to do some in pots, some in the shed, some buried, and maybe some in the garage. We'll see. So I'm going to leave those there. Now on these thicker pieces down here, this piece looks like it kind of got split open. So I'm going to actually remove that patch. And this is a pretty good thick piece. I think I'm going to store it like this, because what I've been taught is that the ends are going to dry up quite a bit, and you might lose some of that planting material. So this may end up being like the space between my thumbs for planting. So I'm going to leave it long, and we better mark the arrow, and then the variety SY. Okay, one other thing, and that is when we plant it, I think you can plant it in 3 different ways: horizontal in the soil, vertical in the soil, or at a diagonal. We haven't experimented with the different varieties, but when I put these in pots, I'm going to put them in the diagonal. Now this one, okay, so these are for pots, this is for saving. I might leave it as a long piece. It does look pretty long, but same as that, so. Okay, so those two for sure will be for pots. Let's just demo a couple more. This is a pretty long one. Looks pretty good, except it's a bit green at the top. And my understanding is you want it to be a bit more dry. So that's bigger. So let's try this one in 2 pieces. And again, I don't know if that's a mistake. I don't know if they should be super long for storage, but we're going to find out. Okay, so arrow and label. some of these will be garage and underground. And so just to give an idea of what we're gonna do, if these were the sticks we were gonna bury, but we're gonna use more, we would just bring them over, lay them down in the dirt. Let's see how our size is. The size is pretty good. And then we'll cover it up with the dirt, and then we're gonna need to mark it and make sure we don't dig or plant something else here. So March 1st is the ideal planting date, so we will come out and maybe, end of February, we'll see how the weather is looking, and dig them up and hope for the best, and then plant them. In the spots where we are leaving the empty places for cassava, we are gonna try to plant pigeon pea, cow pea, and we're gonna see if those will grow at all this winter. It is the dry season, so we're not sure if that will grow well, but that can help fix nitrogen into the soil after the cassava crop. I think initially we're planning to plant more cassava in this same area because this was a good spot, full sun, but we'll just come like another few feet forward since this area doesn't get wet, and we'll plant like a nice big row along there. So thanks for watching Sarita's Garden. See you next time.